definitely is. I do still like the puck here for Neon. I think that gives him a very strong way of keeping that Queen of Pain down with the Dream Coil. So you've got really good control here from Neon. You've got great team fight coming out. You have some flexibility with the puck as well. It's still pretty open whether or not you want to toss the puck mid, or the puck off, or the void mid, or the void off. So there are options there for Neon and in running their draft and getting the lanes out. Of course, you've got some issues maybe with a Pango 4. We've seen some teams struggle to find that EXP if that is what Neon will do with a Pango, but otherwise, it is fairly open for them, so there is flexibility to
Ooh,
consider. GeekFam's response, though, the
that's
Ricky
different.
coming out.
We
Yeah, it
haven't
definitely is.
we haven't seen the pos one Ricky from GridFam at all.
No. No, we haven't just yet, and I can see it working out for them, though. It kind of plays into Raven's playstyle. He does like to play semi-aggressively sometimes, although if you go the slower route for the Battle Fury, the Ricky can kick into pace as well, so we'll see what GeekFam does opt for. The silence is going to be great here. It gives him great control over something like the Puck or the Void Spirit, so there's a lot of value in that Ricky. You don't have the best hold from Neon to truly lock him in. You'd be looking at maybe the Remnant from the Void Spirit or the Silence from the Puck to really just kind of hold him down. Beyond that, the Ricky can kind of dance around here if you're not careful. So there is some pretty good mobility here from Geek Fam with that Ricky. And yeah, the key thing is Raven's itemization. I wouldn't be too surprised if he went for the Battle Fury instead, as Raven does tend to prefer farming as in his playstyle.
He does, which is why I'm kind of surprised they went for that Ricky. Because I'm just not used to seeing him wanting to fight that early on.
Oh
He
yeah.
really does just prefer to farm if he can. I think there's a hell of a lot of value here though with that smoke screen on the puck and Void Spirit though. It's easy pickings for that Ricky this game around. Of course, Neon Esports, their final ban, they get rid of the clockwork, which is quite intriguing. I guess we could have seen a Zephyr Pos 4 clock. I wouldn't have expected it though, in all fairness. We haven't really seen that come out of him yet. GeekFam, they ban out the PL. They don't really have an answer to that PL this game, so it's a nice ban to make here for GeekFam. And, well, their final pickup now, they are still lacking that POS 4 or alternatively a mid, if they are going to run maybe the POS 4 Quap, which we did see from Zephyr
Mm.
yesterday. He did do quite well in that POS 4 Quap as well, so I wouldn't be quite
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, I think the only issue for Geek Fam in this game with a pause for Quap would be control might be a bit lacking. You're really relying on the Bane in the early game. Maybe the DK steps in once you have a blink, but that sometimes takes a bit of time. So you might be having some issues in that sense. But again, we've seen Sepher do it quite well. And the closer for Geek Fam is something I actually really enjoy. The Pugna makes an appearance. So you've got very fast pace from Geek, right? It's just really fast tower pushes with the Pugna, with the DK here. You've got a way to punish the puck every single time the puck casts a spell. It's going to be harder to chain the blink escapes because you're constantly taking damage from the Nether Ward. So there's a refresh time. You can break the puck's combination there, and you can really start to melt through the map.
Ooh.
Although, oh, Neon's response, the Bloodseeker, that is one way to keep that Ricky in check and really tear through these heroes. Like Geek Fam, it's going to be hard to run away from that Seeker. Of course, the Pugna can play around with the Decrep in that case, but I think there's some early game potential now from Neon as well.
Oh, there certainly is. Very intriguing kind of pick with that Bloodseeker. It's the first time we've seen it in the BTS Pro Series for Season 2. I look forward to see what it can do. I don't really have the highest hopes in all fairness of the Bloodseeker, but we'll see how it goes. Like, you are playing into a Pugna in all fairness. That is going to be a POS 4 Pugna, but my problem
Mm.
with the Bloodseeker is, John, you just decrepify and he can't do anything. It's,
Yeah.
and even then, right, like if you've got someone that's quite low in HP, that's being chased down, if you decrep the Bloodseeker and just life drain your teammate to heal them up, well, it kind of just
Oh.
makes the Bloodseeker, you know, somewhat Not useless, but you get my point. It nullifies the whole point of the Bloodseeker. That's
Yeah.
assuming that goes down, though. It's not as easy as
Mm.
said than done.
It definitely isn't. But I think there is potential from both sides there. Like with the Bloodseeker in this case, right? You've got the nice AoE silence to maybe break off that Fiend's grip from Whitemon. So you have a safer way to cancel that off without expending a big spell. Of note as well for Neon, they are running the Pause 4 Void Spirit and the offlane Pango. So looks like we will be seeing play hard in Void Spirit this time. We'll see how much he can pull out from Void Spirit. It's not something we see in Southeast Asia too often, that 4 Void, but we have seen it in some other regions, and it can get the work done depending on how aggressive you play early. You just need to hit level 6 to really start applying even more pressure.
Sure. Can be quite devastating. No actions. Oh, there we go. They're finally dying. I was going to say they're just not doing anything with these actions yet, but we haven't. And of course, it wouldn't be a new day of SCA Dota without a great old pause.
Oh yeah. First, minute 0 pause is how we like it.
Yeah.
Just the way everyone likes it.
So it's going to be that safe lane, Ricky. They're not going to play any kind of funny lanes here with Raven.
Oh no.
He
No.
should basically have a free lane, though, on that top lane, in all fairness. Like, the Pangli can be annoying, but you've got this super high space regen on the Ricky. What's going on? What are they saying now?
No, he was just saying... Carl was just saying that, Play Hards is pretty big, pretty long. No?
Oh.
Play Hard Seb is pretty long.
Oh, he
like,
does have a
well,
huge Seb, yeah.
Barry links. Play Hard's throwing some shade into Carl, saying that Carl's is just loose change in comparison. And they're somehow making fun of Zephyr for alt tabbing. Like he's not paying attention apparently.
I don't blame him. Zephyr's a man of business. He doesn't waste his time with these jokes and stuff, right? He'll be back once the game starts.
Something brief. I don't know what underwear has to do with it. Apparently, Cuckoo says it's just like purchasing underwear. Okay, Cuckoo.
What's like purchasing underwear, John?
I guess it's. I'm trying to check the context. I can't scroll up enough. See, this is an issue. Pabago PH. What? Nah, this is probably inside stuff. I'm not sure what they're referencing. It's nice to see teams be.
On that note, by the way, we are trying to hire a Filipino that can translate for us, because John can't apparently. So if there's any Filipinos out there, just send your resumes through.
I don't know how Carl throws out the casual yawa, but that's something good for us Bisaya folk. Just tossing our own curses out. That's always nice to see, Mike.
It is, he's a cultured man, John.
Yeah, just cursing in 2 different dialects is always good.
That's very cultured. Bot lane, Skem's gonna be there, but he's not gonna go after that bot bounty rune. He's by himself at the moment. So GeekFam will secure both bottom bounty runes, and the top runes, of course, will go to the way of Neon Esports. I was talking before that this Ricky by Raven really shouldn't suffer too much in this lane. The Pango can be annoying, but that's really all I think he can be. Like, the base region of Ricky is just so high in the laning stage that you can't really get through all his HP quite quickly. And
yeah,
is that a pos for Void Spirit?
Yep, it is play hard on it. So they are going with the core Pango, the pause for Void Spirit, which again isn't too common in Southeast Asia, but we have seen from time to time elsewhere, and it does kind of make sense, right? The Void Spirit doesn't take too much farm. You really need to just hit level 6, and at that point, play hard can start applying that pressure. Of course, at some point, you would want some way of farming up to the Ags. There's just way too much value in that item pickup, but with the Void on the pause 4, that timing's probably going to be delayed.
We are going to have a couple disconnections here from Neon Esports. So,
And
Straf
you,
from GeekFam, I think you... It's such a fast-paced lineup, right? Like once you've got the DK at 6, you've got the Quap. Maybe at that point she'll be level 8, and the Ricky as well. Like Raven, he can join these team fights so fast if his team needs him. Like they may opt to just farm a little bit. They may not choose to start rushing down lanes. But once you get around that 10-minute mark, I think Raven may just join up with his team and start just joining the fights. I don't really
yeah,
see any reason for him to just keep farming here. Like, once you've got a couple Wraith Bands and Treads up on that Ricky with a lineup like this, they do tend to melt quite fast on Neon Esports.
yeah, they're not the tankiest targets, and this does open up that early aggression for GeekFam as well. I think one other really strong aspect from GeekFam's draft is just their laning. Like you look down bot, you see Scam on the Bloodseeker, you've got Whitemon and Zephyr around already to make that hellish. So if they want to just delay the progression of this Bloodseeker, hanging around for a level or two down here should really make it hard for Scam to find some early last hits.
You should be able to just decrepify Scam on that Bloodseeker every time he goes for that last hit. Force him to use the Blood Right to try and get those CS, but even then it can be quite challenging because it's just so projected. You know, it's quite easy to just try and go in for the deny while you have a chance, while that Blood Right is still charging up. It's gonna be a lot of pressure here on Yopaj as well. I think he's gonna have to be rotating quite early on the puck. So things can escalate quite fast here with this draft from GeekFam if you're not too careful. We still have
So
disconnections coming out.
yeah, it's just just a bad day for internet again. You know how it is. It's
I do.
staple. Southeast Asian staple. Just like rice. You have it everywhere, disconnects.
Oh, goodness me.
I mean, it's like I'm on mobile hotspot. I've got my dad's phone on top of my PC right now, hooked into a charger as well just to make sure. Somehow it's holding up, at least for the voice, I hope.
Oh, it
But,
is.
there's some issues. Yeah, it's something. I'm pretty sure this is not playable though, so I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. So I can get why these boys are trying to get as best of connection as possible.
Speaking of, did you try reconnecting to the camera thing again?
Oh yeah, it's calling in, and if it okay, I got to mute it. I instantly have to mute it because it might just go off. It's not cooperating too well, but I'll
No,
try
it's
to get
not.
that fixed.
It's another day with the internet.
Yeah, Zephyr is being nice though. Take your time, Zephyr. Facebook mode. What? Why are they making fun of Zephyr just alt tabbing? He's been pretty on point, but maybe he's got that multitasking up to par. Just playing high level Dota and surfing social media.
You've got to multitask these days, John. It's just not enough to have like one screen and, you know, can't be on one app at a time. That's not really.
No.
It's 2020, John. You got to get with the times.
Oh, absolutely. That's just the way it rolls now.
Yeah.
It's Zephyr though, telling Skem to focus up to for Boy Neon. That's a compliment from Carl. He's just saying that they're Neon are full of cool folk.
Cool folk.
Yeah, that's a very roundabout way of saying it. I can't quite translate it, but I'm sure you can get the contents of Boy. It should be fairly obvious. I think one would hope. Maybe my accent's not coming through enough, but it's an accented way of calling someone a cool fella.
Okay. Well, it looks like we are going to be going ahead now, so disconnects are over. 5 minutes of pause time left as well, apparently.
This is the second time someone's asked Raven if he's in a rush. Every single time there's a pause and he's like, go. And everyone's like, are you in a rush, Raven?
But I don't quite blame Raven. I mean, I don't know why players enjoy wasting time so much just sitting in a pause screen. It's, you know, you just want to play the game.
Yeah, but I guess Zephyr just enjoys that Facebook time, man.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This is work time, Zephyr. No more Facebook for you, sir. It's going to be up against Januel, who's going to be harassing Zephyr out quite a bit. That level 1 timing for the Pugna is quite slow. Plus, he went for the level 1 Nether Ward. So
yeah, that's an interesting start. Not very common. I think this does make it harder for Skem to spam the Blood Right. It's just that, well, level 1 ward is really easy to kill.
I'm kind of shocked he went for that. I appreciate the fact that you are going to remove a lot of mana there from Skem and just harass him out. But like you said, it's just so easy to kill off. And it's not like you're going to spam Blood Right that often at level 1. If you're Skem. He'll put another one down. In all fairness though, if you go to try and kill off that ward, you can take a lot of free harassment from Zephyr. That might be the game plan here, just trying to force them to deal with the ward and then him harassing them while they do it. But no, yeah, they get the deny off. Cuckoo got the deny that one. Skem going to chase Cuckoo down with the Ink Swirl. Do a bit of damage there on the DK. He'll be fine. We'll have a look at the other lanes. Of course, mid lane, Yopaj is going to be up against Carl. And Carl, I saw him yesterday having a great old time on the Ember Spirit. Time around on the Quap. Currently doing very well in this lane up against the Park. Yopaj is going to have to be a bit careful about how much harassment he takes from Carl. And will eventually just salve up.
Yeah, it's still a slightly better lane so far for Yopaj. Just managing to clear the creep waves a bit better, but it's not like Carl's too far behind. This is going to be the story of this lane until perhaps you see an early lane support rotate out, but with how the side lanes are going, probably not going to be happening anytime soon.
Uh-oh. We're only 2 minutes 40 seconds in. Now the Discord's having some issues.
Yeah, it's interesting to me though, because we tend to see a lot of teams call for, I believe it's TeamSpeak. This is the first time I've seen someone call out for a Discord issue, so that's new.
Is it? Do people still use TeamSpeak?
Yeah, a lot of teams actually still use it.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they bought a server, they bought some bandwidth, so they might as well. It is technically higher quality when you run your own server. You can control it a bit better. Maybe privacy or DDoS concerns.
I guess.
There was that period of time where teams were still using Skype and Discord wasn't big. So I guess a lot of them did just transition to TeamSpeak in that period. Yeah, that was the
Skype.
Oh, yeah, Skype.
Skype's just the worst. It's just unbelievable how bad that is.
Oh yeah, takes me back though. Like I think maintain our Skypes for just one person, and I miss that guy. He's a great fella in the CIS scene. Very.
I don't maintain Skype at all, John. I don't have it installed right now. I only install it when it's necessary.
I see. Yeah, that's smart. I just keep it around just in case I get reminded to run ads.
All right. To the top lane, of course, we do have Whiteman and Raven there. Currently, Raven's top of the last hits board. He's really being uncontested by Rappy on this Pango. Which, again, was to be somewhat expected here. Like, it's very hard to win this lane as a Pangolier. Especially when Whiteman's there, and oh, that's a miss swashbuckle as well. But Wyman's just continuously harassing him out, and Rappy's really got no help around. Playhard has pulled the lane over, so he's trying to fix the lane up for Rappy, but this definitely isn't really helping out this Pangolier.
No. It's one of the things with a Void for, its laning presence is sometimes not the best. It takes some EXP to really build it up, and that's most certainly something GeekFam is exploiting. As you mentioned, Raven pretty much free farming, and we've seen what happens when you let Raven have a free lane. It gets out of control very fast.
And that it probably will if they don't try and contain Raven now. They do have a lot of creeps coming the way of Rappy though, so he'll get a bit of XP for himself and hopefully a bit of gold as well. Of course, Whiteman's just going to take care of just chasing down Playhard, making sure he doesn't have a good old time. Playhard still sitting at the level 2 mark, is going to have a struggle here in trying to get those levels up. He'll go after an Aether and onto Carl, but Carl will dodge it out quite easily. Well, Playhard right now is just soaking XP off Yopaj, but he can't go back to the top lane because Whiteman's just blocking the way. He's kind of stuck here. He scans out, he scans Whiteman, still going to be chased though. And Whiteman's hitting like a truck right now as well, which doesn't really help. He literally just can't get back to the lane. He's going to go the longest way possible.
Yeah, it's really hurting that top lane. Not the best results for Neon. They're just going to have to cop it. I mean, there's not much choice there. This is what they've drafted themselves into, after all.
That they have. That mid lane, though, Yopaj has started to overtake this Queen of Pain. They're trying to go for that Banneroon snipe there from Carl. Yopaj still going onto that Quap. He could actually take him out, but now Zephyr's coming in, and Carl is bottling up through all these auto attacks. Yopaj, though, Orb is going to be there. Does he want to jaunt in? He does! But he can't really kill Carl. And now he's in a very awkward position. He has to TP out of there. He'll be alright in the end. Straight back to that mid lane. Well, Yopaj, if he can keep this up, he should be able to really carry his team through the mid game on that puck. They are going to need him to set the tempo.
Yeah, it's really down to Yopaj just finding a stronger start. It is already a bit good. You know, he's about a wave ahead of Carl, which is a nice start. You rarely see Carl in this kind of situation. And the puck can start making those early rotations. You've got the level 6 up and running. There you go, the Dream Coil's out.
Does come out now. Scream. Sonic Wave, though, dodged out by Yopaj, and he gets the kill. First Blood is going to be there for the puck. Great dodge on that Sonic Wave, and that's going to really hurt for Carl. Not only dying, but getting that Sonic Wave on cooldown for 2 minutes.
It's a nice big win for Neon down mid, and again, if Yopaj maintains that pace, they should be able to get a lot more. White Mondo being chased out.
He's in trouble. The Nightmare does finally get taken off of Rappy, but he doesn't really have the swashbuckle anyway. Couldn't go for the chase. I thought Wyman was just going to die there for sure, but the brain sap kept him alive. Rappy is still struggling quite a lot though. Like, he's got 23 last hits on this Pango. Now Raven, he comes in for one blink strike and you saw the damage. He just can't really sustain himself in this lane anymore. To make matters worse, we see Playhard, he does rotate. Like, they tried to make the chase onto Cuckoo, it seems, but Cuckoo TP'd out. They didn't really have the Inkswell off in time, so they couldn't really stop the TP. It's just going to hurt Neon now, because you've rotated Playhard. He's already suffering in terms of levels. He's going to run all the way up to the top lane again now. It's just not great news.
No, it definitely isn't. Neon's early game, sure they find first blood on Yopaj, but every other lane is still hurting. You're not finding the snowball you'd want from Scam, although he is finding last hits. Cuckoo, I'm sure, is pretty happy with finding his EXP on the DK. And this is, again, something GeekFam needed. They just needed to find their levels, hit a good stride on Raven, and even if you haven't slowed down that Bloodseeker, well, you do have solutions for that with your support Pugna anyway, so it's not going to be a point of concern. And you look at Zephyr, he actually did skip Decrep. He's really just maxing out the Nether Ward.
They're going to make the jump onto Zephyr now. Zephyr going to be in trouble with that silence. He's going to try and run, but will die. Now the jump in, play hard. Sonic Wave going to be quite decent, but Yopaj does dodge it out again. They do get off play hard though, and looks like that'll be it. GeekFam, they will back off. It is about that point though now where they'll probably start rotating this 4 or 5 and start just trying to find pickoffs across the map for GeekFam. But back to that Pugna build. Why no Decrep?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to go about it. I think they're just really trying to punish the puck and just make it hard for them to cast spells. So you're, again, limiting the spam from the Bloodseeker, although down bot.
Yeah, bot lane. Inkswell going to be there on Genuel. He is going to at least get the stun on the Ricky, but not going to really matter. Cuckoo does get the kill for himself, and now with that dragon form, they are very easily going to push down that tier 1 tower. And this is really the problem with giving that DK over to GeekFam, is they do this every single time they hit that level 6 timing. There is going to be a Rolling Thunder, and now your Page does rotate. Cuckoo is going to be in pretty big trouble. He'll try and turn around, but there's nothing he can do. Skem is going to rotate in and just take the kill for himself. And so they do successfully stop the bot push from happening, but it is a substantial amount of damage.
Yeah, it really is, and I'd say at this point, finding that defense is already a win for Neon. GeekFam, gotta be a bit careful. Maybe try to give Zephyr some more EXP. Does have at least 1 point in decrep, but you're gonna want a few more, although Raven is hunting Skem.
Skem is just way out of position right now. Setting up for the top tier 1 push by farming in that area, but there's nobody there. Genuel just made his way up. That's a big pick off there for GeekFam. That was the POS 1 of Neon Esports.
Yeah, it's a really good punishment from Geek. Skem, he needs to find safer farm or hunt more successfully. They do find Zephyr at least.
But they do. But Cuckoo's just focused on trying to force in that mid tower now. He's just switching lanes, just going for the higher priority target. They may kill him off, Cuckoo. He's going to make a run for it, but he has been silenced up, stunned up as well, but Rappy kind of missed that swashbuckle, but it won't matter. They do get the kill on now. Carl going to be in trouble. A great Sonic Wave, though. They bring the Bane in as well. Rolling Thunder out. This Quap is in huge trouble. The Nightmare out, and he does try to blink away, but the Rupture will kill him off. Maybe just didn't realize the Rupture was there. Fun little fact though with mechanics, John, you can actually blink and dodge the Rupture damage on the Queen of Pain. That is possible, but if you don't realize the Rupture's there, you won't be able to really commit to the trick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky distance to have to estimate, and you know, it's something that I guess Carl wasn't quite ready for. So Neon is starting to kick up that early aggression. But you look at Raven. He's been left to farm up. He hasn't really been punished. He's going for the Diffusal build, so it is a more aggressive build for Raven this time. Not opting for the Battle Fury, but he's been allowed to farm a 1k advantage over Scam. This is really not what you want to be seeing from Neon, as the few kills they've gotten are nice, but GeekFam are just advancing in these objectives at a faster pace.
Well, with this Bloodseeker, like, you need to be ahead. Like, you do not want to be behind at this stage of the game as a Bloodseeker. You should be the one being aggressive here. Raven gets Dream caught up, and now the rotations are coming. Raven trying to get out. They are going to life drain him. He does blink away, but now Zephyr does take the Rupture. Now Rolling Boulder won't quite connect onto Raven. Soulbind going to be out with the double silence, but Fiend's Grip is out from Whiteman. He does catch the Pango. Still, they do end up killing off that Ricky. Now going after Whiteman on the Bane. They'll leave the Bane alone, maybe just deciding Cuckoo's a better target. Will they have the damage, though? Nice ink swell there from your Page, but now Cuckoo will turn around with the Dragon Tail. You just don't really have the damage output to deal with the DK unless you have everyone basically surrounding him. And this is with Cuckoo actually skipping out on the braces. He's just going straight for that blink.
Yeah, I don't blame Cuckoo for going this way. He needs to be up in front, setting the pace to counteract Neon's aggression. So the fast blink is necessary, but you're still seeing him quite tanky, and that is paying off great. I think you look at Zephyr now, does have the level 6, so you've got the sustain that can come out from GeekFam, and that makes it a lot more complicated in trying to actually pick them off as long as Zephyr's positioning is on point. So you do have certain tools coming out for Geek. Neon still gonna be happy with finally getting punishment on Raven, but they did give away that tier 1 anyway. So GeekFam still finding the objectives in the end, and I'm sure they're gonna go for that mid tier 1 next. It's at 300 HP, not much left to it.
Looks like Rappy's trying to at least split push the top lane, but we are gonna have a DC now from GeekFam's end. Which means that my time is coming soon, sir. Because it has switched teams now. Time is upon me. So I'll get ready for the disconnection. So we'll have the go ahead from GeekFam. They reconnect quite fast.
Dire's top tower is under
You know, this build from Zephyr is still intriguing me. Like, it does have some plays. I just don't know why you'd really value max death ward over even Nether Blast. Yeah, just the max ward over Nether. Like, this is slowing down their push a tad for GeekFam and minimizing their damage output, but it is kind of working as well, right? Like, it has kind of tempered that aggression, although.
I mean, it makes sense in a way. Like, having that max nether ward is going to be so detrimental in these early team fights. Right? Because you don't have the greatest mana pools. You don't have huge mana regen. Like, just the AoE degen aura of the mana will be quite detrimental in a team fight. But you pointed out earlier, like, the Puck has so many spammable spells that it is going to be quite effective up against a hero like that to just put it down and just see all the damage start ticking out. Even the Void Spirit, like, just such low cooldowns.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen the full effect of it just yet. I think the positioning that Zephyr has been forced to drop it in has been less than ideal, but it is at max level now, so the damage kicks in, the mana loss kicks in as well. Should start to have a bigger factor in these fights.
Bot lane, they're going to go for a fight now, trying to steal those bounty runes, but Raven does kill off Play Hard. Now they also find Januel.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, they're pushing in the mid lane there with Yopaj, but it's just a Puck. And GeekFam are rotating into that mid lane now, trying to secure that tier 1. Cuckoo will just go straight into the tower. He'll turn around onto Yopaj, try to force him back, but now the Blink Dragon Tail is there, and Carl will get in with the Sonic Wave. Yopaj in huge trouble, and there's that Nether Ward kicking in.
Yeah.
And now that he's got the Blink, right, like the Blink on the Puck, that's when the Nether Ward is really going to hurt, because you may not be able to blink out.
Oh yeah, it's really going to pay off now. Like, this was a very patient set of builds from Zephyr, but this is going to help them massively, although White Pawn cops the rupture.
He does. Doesn't bother for the TP yet. Goes for the Brain Sap TP. Rolling Thunder is going to be forced out. They'll just commit it for the easy kill onto that Bane. So yeah, Neon sitting at an 8-8, but there's a 4k net worth lead here for GeekFam. And again, you look at Skem, he's just been struggling on this Bloodseeker.
It's been slow going, and he went for the drums build just to have more early presence for his team. What we tend to see from the core seekers have been a Blade Mail Radiance Rush or an SNY Radiance, but the timing doesn't feel great for Skem. They did smoke, but it's immediately popped by Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr does break it. Now looking to place that Nether Ward down, but he's being chased by Playhard. There is going to be a Dream Call out, but it's doing nothing. Raven is still perfectly fine. Playhard will jump back in, but Raven just juking and jiving. Now the Decrep lifesteal is going to be there on that Void Spirit. Playhard just ticking out. Januel, no, he will go down, but so will Playhard. And now the Bloodseeker. He's going to be able to run away, but I can't say the same for Yopaj, who does get stunned up and smoke screened. Well, you got the Bloodseeker out of there, but Carl just tips him. Just, I don't care, you did nothing in the team fight.
Yeah, that's going to be a consistent factor in these fights. Skem's presence is starting to be minimized. You know, as you build in, I mean, you've got Zephyr at 9 now. All of a sudden, he has level 3 Decrep. So it becomes a lot harder for anyone to really just focus down and right-click, especially for that Bloodseeker. This mitigates his speed and gives a lot of downtime for Skem, even if he does show up. So GeekFam are starting to build up here. Neon, their draft is supposed to be just as aggressive. It's just not quite kicking into gear. They need to find a way to make it work. They need to keep hunting Raven, because despite Raven joining these fights, he's still top of network.
Zephyr, you got Ruptured, Dream Coil there, but Cuckoo is around the area. Now Carl going straight after Yopaj, who's just trying to run away, but they couldn't even kill Zephyr off. He is going to survive, and now Skem's just forced to run. They're going to turn it around onto Cuckoo. Cuckoo will also survive. Meanwhile, Carl was still trying to kill off Yopaj, but doesn't quite get that kill on the Puck. But it does get really concerning when you can't deal with the pos for Zeph or Pugna. And now, GeekFam, they're going to run down to the bot lane. They don't have Dragon Form, but they don't really need it. They can slowly just siege away and wait for the next creep wave. And,
Yeah,
I mean, the best that Neon can do is just try to push in the top tower.
It's not going to be a favorable trade for Neon in that case. It's just not a high priority lane anymore for GeekFam, and you are seeing Neon's draft fall apart at the seams a bit. It is getting a bit wonky. Skem's presence is just not doing much. The Rupture's not really working on GeekFam beyond that one time where Carl did try to blink dodge it, and beyond that point, it's been pretty well going for GeekFam. They're still finding farm, they're still pulling ahead, and they're playing aggressively. Carl is stuck up top though.
He is. Silent stop. 8th Remnant does not latch on. They just can't. They can't secure the kill on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's... You really need to land that combo. Every single time I think we've watched Play Hard, the Remnants just don't latch. It's really tricky, to be fair, but you depend so much of your control on that once it misses, oh no.
Yeah, your Page. Can't really afford to keep dying like this. His team was quite dependent on playing with the puck. But they've just fallen so far behind now. You've got a 6k net worth lead on GeekFam. They are pushing down objectives at the very least. They did find the top tier 1 and... Well, they're trying to push the top tier 2 a little bit. But ultimately, they're just avoiding the side of GeekFam right now, which I can't quite blame them for. But now a smoke is there from GeekFam. Cuckoo does have the Dragon Form. Play hard, TPing out, but no. Dragon Tail and Nightmare both going to be there. Play hard, can you juke yourself out of this? He will Astral Step away, but, well, he Astral Steps again. They are on the chase. They do want the kill. Carl will blink, give vision. Play hard. Still 20 seconds for another Astral Step. He is probably going to die if they could just secure the vision, though. No, he is juking out quite nicely and Dissimulate again. Carl will just Sonic Wave. It's enough wasting time. Meanwhile, mid lane, Zephyr, he's going to be in trouble. Double silence out on that Pugna. He's in big trouble. In fact, he's taking a fair bit of damage, but now the Decrep comes down. Dream Coil is there. Can they actually finish the job off, though? Not quite. They do finally get him, but your Page goes down, and now a Fiend's Grip on Scam. And even Januel, he's trying to run away, but Carl is going to be on top of him. Raven gets a triple kill on the Ricky. And it's just turning to a good old-fashioned stomp.
Really is. 9-17, 9k lead for GeekFam. And Neon, they keep trying to commit onto Zephyr, and they have to throw so many bodies out for a pause 4. It's just not shaping up the way Neon would like. I think Scam has to reconsider that build, oh no.
Rappy does barely get away with his life intact. Play hard. Stun, gonna be there on the Void Spirit. He is in huge trouble. And Raven is just online now. Like, you got the BKB up. He didn't even need to use that last little engagement. Just no necessity for it.
Yeah, he's got so much space to just command these fights that, again, Neon just feels like they have to focus Zephyr, but it's not enough. And, oh no.
Yeah. Easy kill. And Genuel's there as well, but there's really no hope of survival.
Nah, they call it.
Yep. They're too far ahead.
Yeah. 9-19, 12k, 21 minutes. Raven again with the great farm. Cuckoo and Carl with the great aggression, and Zephyr just ruining them. The Pugna pick was so good here. And the fact that he went for the ward to even stop Yapaj from trying to make plays paid off in the end. So Neon, got to be a bit more careful in that draft. You can't allow GeekFam to take the DK and Quap. They just love these heroes too much.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like even with the Pugna going for that kind of ward build, I do think it was quite smart in the end. Like you have a bit of a think about it. You look at it. They didn't need the extra push with the Nether Blast. They didn't need the damage either. That Nether Ward is just so disruptive against Yopage's Park that it really does pay off. Nevertheless, though, we do have a second game between these two coming up. I guess we'll wait and see if Raging Potato is coming back to kind of fill in the slot there for Rappy, but I don't think Rappy really played badly or anything. I just think they got outdrafted and outplayed in the end. We'll find out though. Game number 2 should be coming up in about 10 minutes. It is MLP Dota on JohnXFire. We'll see you all again very, very soon.